A very good morning, dear students. I am here with part 2 of chapter 13. Our chapter is Magnetic Effects of Electric Currents. The chapter itself is very interesting, and today the topics that we are going to discuss in this part are also very interesting. So, let me show you which topics today we will study in this part. Okay, in this part, we'll study magnetic field due to the current through a circular loop. Okay, and then our second point will be magnetic field due to the current in a solenoid. And our last topic of today's discussion will be force on a current carrying conductor in a magnetic field. Right, so let me start with the first one, that is magnetic field due to the current through a circular loop. See, when current is passed through a circular loop, the magnetic field produced here is in the form of concentric circles around the conductor, right? Towards the center, the arcs of the circle becomes larger and they appear as straight line. Here in picture you can see clearly that this is our circular loop. See, I am drawing the circular loop with my red marker. That is the circular loop. Okay, this is our circular loop. And when current is flowing in it, so magnetic field is produced, and this magnetic field, if I consider at this point, that is circular. Okay, here is the magnetic field. This is in circular shape, and as we go towards the center, so these lines of magnetic fields are becoming larger, larger and larger, and at the center it becomes straight line. This is the straight line, right? By applying the right hand thumb rule, we can find out the direction of magnetic field at each and every point of this loop. At any point you can find out the direction. Okay. And what you will find? You find that magnetic field lines are in the same direction within the loop. We know that magnetic field produced by a current carrying conductor at a given point depends directly on the current passing through it. Therefore, if there is a circular coil having n turns, the field produced will also be n times as large as that produced by a single turn. Okay, अगर 3 turns हैं तो magnetic field will be 3 into magnetic field जो एक टर्न से प्रोड्यूस होता है. 5 turns हैं, it will be 5 times. 7 turns हैं, then it will be 7 times. And if there are n turns, then the magnetic field will be n times of that field that is produced by the single circular loop, right? This is because the current in each circular turn has the same direction, and the field due to each turn then just adds up, and at the end it will become n turns, and n are the turns in the coil. Now we come to the next topic, that is magnetic field due to the current in a solenoid. Let me tell you what is the solenoid. Actually, solenoid is a circular coil of wire in the shape of a cylinder. When current flows through a solenoid, it behaves like a bar magnet. The ends of a solenoid behaves like the north and south poles of the magnet, and the magnetic field produced by the solenoid is similar to the magnetic field produced by a bar magnet. In picture you can see the solenoid. Here this is a solenoid, and you can see the field lines produced around a solenoid. Okay, and this solenoid behaves like a bar magnet. The strength of the magnetic field depends upon the strength of the current and the number of turns of the coil. If current is more, magnetic field will be more, and if current is less, magnetic field will be less. If number of turns in the solenoid are more, obviously magnetic field will be stronger. And if number of turns are less, magnetic field will be weak. Okay. So if you compare the pattern of magnetic field with the magnetic field around a bar magnet, what do you observe? Do they look similar? Yes, they are similar. Why? Because solenoid works as a bar magnet. Actually, in fact, one end of the solenoid behaves like magnetic north pole, while the other end of the solenoid behaves as the south pole. And the field lines inside the solenoid are in the form of parallel straight lines. Here you can see the magnetic field lines inside the solenoid are parallel to each other. Are you following my red marker? If you are following the red marker, you can see the parallel magnetic field lines inside the solenoid. Okay, so these are similar as magnetic field lines produced by bar magnet, right? What does this indicate? It indicates that the magnetic field is the same at all the points inside the solenoid. It means the magnetic field is uniform inside the solenoid. Electromagnet. Let me tell you what is electromagnet. See, uh, inside a solenoid, a strong magnetic field is produced that can be used to magnetize a piece of magnetic material like a soft iron when it is placed inside the coil. And this type of magnet is called electromagnet. If electric current is passed through a wire that is around a piece of soft iron, it starts behaving like a magnet. When this is known as electromagnet. See, these magnets are not permanent magnets. These behave like magnet only when electricity is passing through them. When electricity is not passing through, these substances will not behave like magnet. That is why they are known as electromagnet, because on passing on the electricity only they behave like magnet, right? Here are some questions. Let me answer these questions for you. The first one is, consider a circular loop of wire lying in the plane of the table. Let the current pass through the loop clockwise. Apply right hand third rule to find out the direction of magnetic field inside and outside the loop. Okay. So here, this is the picture of this question. There is a table and a circular loop lying on the plane of the table. You can see the circular loop with black pen it is drawn. Okay. Now let the current pass through it. Okay, and the current is passing clockwise. Now by applying right hand thumb rule, you can know the answer of the question, and you can find out the direction of magnetic field inside and outside the loop. See, inside the loop you can see it is okay. Inside the loop it is here, and outside the loop that is this direction, upward direction. If we find it outside, it is upward direction, and inside the loop it is downward direction, right? The second question is, the magnetic field in a given region is uniform. Draw a diagram to represent it. That is the diagram to show it. Third question is, choose the correct option. The magnetic field inside a long straight solenoid carrying current, is it zero? Is it decreases as we move towards its ends, or is it increases as we move towards its end, or is it same at all the points? The correct answer is D. The magnetic field inside a long straight current carrying solenoid is uniform. So the correct answer is D, that it is same at all the points, right? Now this is our another topic of today's session. The topic is very much interesting and let me start it. This is force on a current carrying conductor in a magnetic field. Okay. If a current carrying conductor is placed in magnetic field, it experiences a force. In a French scientist, André Marie Ampère, suggested it, and let me read it for you. When a current carrying conductor is placed in a magnetic field, it experiences a magnetic force. The direction of this force is always right angles to the plane and is predicted by Fleming's left hand rule. Okay, what is Fleming's left hand rule? That also we'll study over here. But the main thing is, if a current carrying conductor is placed inside a magnetic field, it experiences a magnetic force. Okay, and the force is maximum when the direction of current and direction of magnetic field is perpendicular to each other, and this force is minimum or zero when they are parallel to each other, right? Okay, here the statement is explained with the help of the activity. An aluminum rod is suspended horizontally by a wire between the poles of a horseshoe magnet, and then current is passed through the wire. Okay, when current is passing through the wire, what do you observe? See, here is the arrangement. This is AB. This is an aluminum rod. That is the shoe magnet. Okay, and this is battery, and battery is connected to them. See, one end of the battery is connected over here at B point. Another end is connected at A point. So when electricity is not flowing through it, there is no deflection. Okay, aluminum rod is just hanging over there. But when electricity starts flowing it, we observe that aluminum rod is displaced. Okay, अपनी जगह से ये थोड़ा सा हिल जाएगा. It means it is experiencing a force inside the magnet. Okay, as I told you, the displacement of the rod suggests that a force is exerted on current carrying aluminum rod when it is placed in a magnetic field. The direction of force is also reversed when the direction of current through the conductor is reversed. See, now the direction of current is from east to west. If direction of current is reversed, the direction of force will also be reversed. Okay, so change the direction of the electric field vertically downwards by interchanging two poles of the magnet. The direction of force acting on the current carrying rod also gets reversed. What does it show? It shows that the direction of the force on the conductor depends upon the direction of current and the direction of the magnetic field. So these are two factors on which direction of the force on conductor depends. The displacement of rod is the largest when the direction of current is at right angles to the direction of magnetic field. Let me explain it. See, in picture you can see that there are two magnets, magnet number 1 and magnet 2. See, this is magnet 1, this is magnet 2, and this is north pole of first magnet, that is south pole of the second magnet. Okay, and if it is a horseshoe magnet, the shape would be like that, but it doesn't make any difference. The north pole is here and south pole is here. So what is the direction of magnetic field? This is the direction of magnetic field from north to south. Okay, Now that is conductor. You can call it aluminum rod or whatever. You can take it copper rod also. It should be a conductor. So when this is the direction of electric current and this is the direction of magnetic field, you can see that they are perpendicular to each other. So at that time, the conductor will feel or experiences a force in this direction. So if electric current and magnetic field are perpendicular to each other, the force experienced by conductor will be the largest. And if they are in same direction, means if direction of magnetic field is this and direction of electric current is also this, at that time the force will be minimum or we can call zero. Okay, in this condition we can use a simple rule to find out the direction of force on the conductor, and that rule will be known as Fleming's left hand rule. That rule also we will discuss further in the same slide in the same session. Okay, so here that is Fleming's left hand rule. Let me tell you what is Fleming's left hand rule. You know that whenever a current carrying conductor is placed in a magnetic field, it experiences a force due to the magnetic field. Okay, and this force is maximum when electric current and magnetic field are perpendicular to each other. Now, how can you find out the direction of magnetic field? Stretch the thumb, forefinger, and middle finger of your left hand such that they are mutually perpendicular. Okay, see, here you can see the thumb, the middle finger, and then your forefinger. They are stretched like that, all are perpendicular to each other. Here you can see 90-degree and again 90-degree. Okay, so if the first finger points in the direction of magnetic field and second finger in the direction of current, then thumb will point in the direction of motion or the force that is acting on the conductor. Okay, so that is force F, B is magnetic field, and I is current. Simply you can write FBI. So it will be easy to you to put them into sentences. And F means magnetic force, B means magnetic field, I means current. So if the first finger points magnetic field, second finger points the direction of current, then your thumb will point the direction of magnetic force. Okay, that is our Fleming's left hand. Devices that works on this principle include electric motor, electric generator, loudspeaker, microphones, and measuring instruments. Which principle? I told you devices that work on this principle. So which principle? Okay, let me remind you. When an electric conductor is placed in a magnetic field, it experiences a force. That force is maximum when electric current and magnetic field are perpendicular to each other. This is the principle, and on this principle, these devices work. See here, you can see in picture the direction of magnetic field is and direction of electric current is. So they are perpendicular to each other. In this condition, a conductor will experience the maximum force. Okay. Okay. The principle is written over here in the box. You can read it, or if you want me to read it again, let me read it once more for you so that it can be clear to you. When a current carrying conductor is placed in a magnetic field, it experiences a magnetic force. The force is maximum when magnetic field and current are perpendicular to each other. And how can you find out the direction of this force? To find out the direction of this force, we will use Fleming's left hand rule. Okay, that says when you stretch your thumb, forefinger, and second finger of left hand, and forefinger is in direction of magnetic field, second finger is in direction of electric current, then your thumb will tell you the direction of force. So simply you can remember like FBI. Okay. Okay. The first finger magnetic field, second finger direction of current, and then thumb will show you the direction of force acting on the conductor. Okay. Now here is a small video that will be helpful to you to understand the force on a current carrying conductor.
Force on a current-carrying conductor kept in a magnetic field. In 1821, Michael Faraday demonstrated that if an electric current is flowing through a conductor placed in between the poles of a horseshoe magnet, it experiences a force. Let us perform an activity to understand this concept. Suspend a bare copper wire with the help of an insulated copper wire between the poles of a U-shaped magnet as shown here. Observe the initial position of the copper wire, a good conductor of electricity. Now close the key to complete the circuit. We observe that the conductor shifts from its original position. Now reverse the direction of the flow of the electric current. What do you observe? The conductor moves in the opposite direction. What happens to the conductor when the current is switched off? The conductor does not move. This indicates that no force is exerted on the conductor placed in a magnetic field when the current is switched off, while force is exerted on the conductor placed in a magnetic field when the current is switched on.
Now here is the example. This example I have taken from a textbook. Let me read it and let me explain you the example is an electron enters a magnetic field at right angles to it. Okay, it is shown over here in picture. The direction of force acting on the electron will be to right, to left, out of the pace, or into the pace. The answer is into the pace. Why? See, the direction of force is perpendicular to the direction of magnetic field and current as it is given by Fleming's left hand rule. So, if we recall that rule, so that direction of current is taken opposite to the direction of motion of electrons. So that is why the force acting on the electron will be into the pace. अंदर की तरफ होगा, पेज में अंदर की तरफ, right? अंदर की तरफ. Here are some more questions. Let me read the questions for you. The first question is, which of the following property of a proton can change while it moves freely in a magnetic field? Okay, mass, speed, velocity, or momentum. Which of the property will be changed? The correct answer is velocity and momentum. Velocity of the proton will be changed, and if velocity is changing, then P is equal to mv, that is the momentum, that will also be changed, right? Now let me come to the second question. Second question says that in activity 13.7, see this is activity 13.7. Okay, in this activity, how do we think the displacement of rod AB will be affected if current in rod AB is increased and if a stronger horseshoe magnet is used and if length of the rod AB is increased. Okay, so the magnitude of electromagnetic force will increase if amount of current is increased, right? And if length of conductor is increased, then also magnetic force will increase. Okay, and when magnetic force is increasing, at that time displacement of the rod will also increase. So in all the cases the answer is magnetic force that is being experienced by this aluminum rod will be increased, and the result will be displacement of the rod will also be decreased, right? The next question is a positively charged particle projected towards west in deflected that is deflected towards north by a magnetic field. The direction of magnetic field is towards south, towards east, downward, or upward. The correct answer is upward direction, and this direction we can find by using Fleming's left hand rule. Okay, okay, that is some important information that is given in your textbook. Magnetism in medicine. In medical field also magnetism is very much useful. An electric current always produces a magnetic field that we have studied in this session. Even weak ion currents that travel along the nerve cells in our body produces magnetic field. When we touch something, our nerves carry an electrical impulse to the muscles that we need to use, right? This impulse produces a temporary magnetic field, and these fields are very weak, and they are about 1 billionth of Earth's magnetic field, means very very weak. Two main organs in human body where the magnetic field produced is significant, and these two organs are human heart and human brain. The magnetic field inside the body forms the basis of obtaining the images of different body parts. This is done by using a technique called magnetic resonance imaging, or MRI. This MRI is very much useful now to find out the problems inside the body. Doctors usually suggest MRI, yeah, right? Okay. Analysis of these images helps in medical diagnosis. Magnetism has very good important uses in medicines. MRI is the best example of use of magnetism in medicine. Okay, here is brain tumor that can be traced inside the brain by MRI. So, okay, students, this much was there in today's session. I hope you liked it. Now we will meet in part 3 with some other interesting topics of the chapter. Thank you.